Welcome back. I'm Jocelyn.
I'm Caden.
And we
Are
best.
of-
And we today have coffees sponsored by, well,
the one and only.
one and only my husband. And we tried a new
First
place.
sponsor for like
because I got rid of the
35
link because
episodes.
I'm like,
Oh,
I can't. It's like the same people donating, and it made me feel bad.
you got rid of the link.
Yeah.
You just
A
keep it up
while
there.
ago. Isn't it too much
11.
of like a cash grab? It's like, buy me coffee. Or are you like it?
I like it. That's
I
our
bet
thing.
you do. It's true. We're gonna unveil a new coffee. He went to Echo Coffee. Let's see. Ooh. Stir, stir, stir. Mix, mix, mix.
I like it.
It's like different than I think I'm.
Well, you're so
Oh my God, this
custom.
music.
You just did the Interstellar soundtrack. Very custom.
I'm accustomed to my
SO.
My SO
Which is
and
a distinct
my
flavor, distinct
yes.
roast. But I like this roast.
This is nice. This is like a dark and stormy.
Yeah, it's giving Colombian.
It's giving Save the Dogs.
Dark and stormy.
They donate 1% of proceeds to just the Humane Society or a specific group, and they're saving dogs. And then Caden also did us a favor and got us a pastry.
Apple Danish.
Yeah, apple Danish with it. We both got literally the same order. And oops, making a mess. Let's try it.
It's very fresh.
So fresh.
Soft.
Mm-hmm.
Wait till you try that.
I wish it was a little warmed up, but
the apple.
I know. I'm looking forward to getting there. I'm so hungry, so I'm sorry for the cringy ASMR. But I can't wait.
I'm okay.
I cannot wait. Oop. Okay. We're back. Better than ever.
51.
Episode 51. I have no life updates, so I'm not even going to talk about myself.
I don't really either. Just making content, gymming. New gym, love it.
Content grind.
Can't wait to camp soon.
Mm-hmm.
Tired of work.
Mm-hmm.
Still sober.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
I am tired of working with no childcare. And that's literally 90% of my life right there is work and childcare. So that's it for me.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I have a global event. First half of the day. And I'm looking forward to moving on to the next. It's always like when there's an event coming up that I have to be at and set up, like there's always like, it feels like a lot more to do on that client because the event hasn't happened and I still have to go. Whereas I typically ship everything.
Yeah.
So it's like once it's shipped, I'm like, oh, out of sight, out of mind. But because it's like I have to be there, I'm like, it's like taking up mental space, you know? So that when it's behind me, I just am really excited to focus on my 5 other clients. So
yeah, a lot of mental capacity reaching its limit.
I feel that so hard to where I'm like, do we quit the podcast?
What?
Just kidding.
This is like the break.
Oh, that's nice. This is my respite. No, it is nice because
It literally takes.
Kidding. I know I wasn't going to talk about myself, but I can't help it.
I know. What the hell?
All week, I have not been eating. I have not been drinking water. I have literally been working and like focusing, and my brain hurts. Like I'll literally work until you guys get home. And then Logan's like, will you please take a break and just like eat some chicken nuggets with me? And
chicken nuggies.
Yeah, I had chicken nuggets this week. It's okay. It's okay. And I had an In-N-Out yesterday. But that, again, it's my inability to have a balanced life. When I feel like I have a lot of work to do, I feel like I have to pretty much work nonstop through the night, wake up extra early, 6 a.m., like to answer emails. It just makes me feel like but I can't live like that, right? Like I can't live like that forever. So what the fuck do I do? You know?
Because it's on the rate of that's what forever looks like.
Well, that's the thing. I have to set more boundaries. I have to maybe take less clients, and I'm not sure. I'm getting so many more inquiries, and then I'm like managing the inquiries, managing the jobs that I've already booked. I've just recently decided to upgrade my CRM to Dubsado. So I'm like integrating a new CRM, which I feel like the time it takes to set up the proposal templates and the contracts and the workflows and the canned emails. I'm like, this is taking all my time that I'm not even like in touch with my clients. So
Making money.
yeah, or making money. I'm making some money, but it's just I'm in this like it's a hump I need to get over, and I'm hopefully once I'm over that hump and everything is integrated with this new CRM that everything will be easier and I will have more free time and a lot of the admin will be automated, and that's the goal. But I've woken up with a migraine every single morning like this week. And I go to
There's
bed
a
with a headache.
reason.
Shh. I didn't say there wasn't a reason.
Oh,
But again, I'm just not taking care of myself right now, and I'm not sure what to do. Like, I don't know how to take time for me. So yes, back
sounds
to your
like
point, the pod is a break because I would be at my desk right now.
yeah. I mean, in the grand scheme of a week, the time it takes for us to output this is very small.
Very small. No, I thought about that as well. And even setting up, it's like doesn't take
30
forever.
minutes.
We're
Yeah.
so quick now. We're so good, you know.
It's really simple setup.
Super simple. I don't know. It's hard to do everything on my own, but I don't know.
Ups and downs.
Ups and downs, downs and ups. That's it for me. I have a headache and I haven't eaten all week. So
Nothing like a case train
nothing
coffee
like,
to heal.
but that's the thing. That's what I've been having a coffee for breakfast every day. Whoopsies.
Yep.
This is good
Just
though.
a rut we'll get out of once again.
But also, it's like just post summer. Things always come back into the swing of things. I mean,
So they
typically it's
say.
supposed to be like, yeah, mid September, everything feels normal again, normally in our lives. So the fact that it's like, again, Logan's working now 2 to 3 jobs, technically, with the Morgan Athletic Club. He had his first home game Sunday, and he has another one this week and another one the week after that. So it just feels like so much output. And I don't know. That's all I have.
Fall will have begun once this comes out as well.
Oh my gosh. And the weather, though. Can we talk about the weather for a sec? We talk about the weather probably too much.
Yeah, but
as
next
you guys
week,
know.
dude.
What do you mean? It was looking good.
I know.
What do
Tomorrow will
you
be
mean?
enjoy tomorrow because
Okay,
that's the last of it.
It's 85 degrees outside right now, Kaden.
The highs next week, though.
I don't trust that.
All right.
No, I literally don't because, I mean, granted, low hundreds, that's not bad. But yeah, if we could just stay in the 80s, I'd be
Just in the 90s.
so
I hate
happy.
seeing a triple digit.
Yeah, triple dig. I know. Wow.
Phoenix is below normal temps before the triple digit heat.
That's so weird. Like, why?
But it is nice today. And tomorrow, even better.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. And tomorrow being Saturday, that's nice. You have plans tomorrow? Oh, yeah, global event. Damn. All right, more work. Work. Moving on to today's topic, which is I don't have a title yet. Future is now. And we're in our space era, I think. There's so much really happening. I'm not one to really look at space news. Obviously, some of the biggest space news that's happened in recent time just happened, and we'll get into that. But after that, I looked into some more space news. Shit's happening every day.
Yeah, no, I was diving deep. And I was
There's so much happening.
oh my
with
gosh, there's so
space,
much.
With exploration.
Discoveries.
Uh-huh.
Every day, probably.
Dude, we're so like out of the loop. I feel so out of the loop. What do you got, Kaden? Let's start with the Elon of it all, shall we? I'm chewing. Sorry. Did you look into this at all?
No, I got into
Okay.
the second moon that Earth will have for 57 days.
Oh, good. Yeah. See, I'm like, All these space things are coming up now.
Obviously, the Boeing astronauts.
Poor guys. We'll get into
when
that.
they will return to.
So, Elon Musk's SpaceX launched the first ever private astronaut mission, aiming to be the first civilian spacewalk, the first commercial, essentially, trip to space. And they're also going to be studying the effects of radiation in Earth's Van Allen belt. And they're testing these new suits that they are developing. And so I imagine they're going to be doing more trips to space, testing the suits, and making them better and better and better every time.
Van Allen belt?
Van Allen belt.
Oh, yeah. The radiation belts.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. Are they not exposed to radiation? So, if there's any mistakes with those suits, they're literally signing up for radiation exposure.
It's a zone of energetic charged particles which originate from the solar wind.
Whoa.
That are captured by and held around a planet.
Whoa. Solar winds, huh?
That's
interesting.
Magnificent, if anything.
Magnificent. So
that's a cool band name. Solar Wind.
Solar winds. Breeze on by. Polaris Dawn. Polaris was the mission. And did you see the video? Or whatever footage they got of the guy in the suit?
I don't know.
From the back?
You showed me, but it was kind of hard to.
A lot of conspiracy theorists are like, they didn't put people there. That's robots that they put in the suits. It's too robotic. But there is limited arm joint movement with the suits themselves. Plus,
you're in space.
I don't know about you guys. If I was in space looking at Earth,
not much movement.
I would be shitting myself. I would be shaking like a leaf. I would be probably extremely mind blown. I would probably be having a little bit of an existential crisis. I'd probably be disassociating somewhat. I would probably be shocked to stillness, quite honestly.
Disassociation for sure.
Can you imagine just being you're not tethered to Earth? You're not grounded to anything. You're floating in the abyss.
It's unfathomable.
It's unfathomable.
Until you see it. And only what? By the naked eye, a number of people, just a handful.
I have a question for you. How do we feel about the billions and billions and billions that is spent on space exploration to find life, to find other viable planets, when if we just took care of the planet we were on, we could probably live on it longer?
Maybe it's for future civilizations.
Because they just know we're doomed?
Well, yeah, the sun has a life, right?
That's true.
So, which I read today.
Tell
and
me
it's
more
halfway
about that.
through its life.
So we're at the halfway point.
But it's still, as far as...
billions of years away? Right.
But it's halfway, because it is very old, but stars die.
Whoa, that's so true. I did not think about it in that way, I guess. But still, it just seems so far out to have to worry about that right now.
They've been seeing that even with the sun dying, there still could be life on Earth as well.
Whoa.
Not obviously, maybe human life.
Microorganisms.
Plants can still grow and stuff. And
interesting.
Again, these predictions, no idea how they come up with them.
Yeah, really crazy. It's just really, this one mission alone, a private spacewalk to also test the radiation, $200 million. Funded by a billionaire who just I don't know, was fascinated with space.
200 million?
Mm-hmm. And obviously Elon is loaded, but I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
Well, yeah, because now it's probably going to be more, I don't know.
More common. I feel like this is the first of many.
If it costs that much, though.
It's about to be much more normalized. And more, as with AI as well, the more technologically advanced we get, the more possibilities open up like that,
One article says the spacewalk is the U.S. breaking a 50-year-old space law.
We broke a law?
A space law?
Who writes space laws?
Well, that's the thing. Space
who enforces
is
them?
International.
Totally. It's global.
There is no... Oh my gosh.
It's I guess it's just
How
up
to
for
operate in
whoever.
space. The Cold War Treaty
It's a Cold War treaty. That makes
faces
sense.
a new test. Deep in both the Cold War and the space race, the United Nations brought the Soviet Union and the US and other world powers to the table to sign a new agreement. The Treaty on Principles Governing the Activities of States in the Exploration and Use of Outer Space, including the Moon and other celestial bodies, is now more commonly known as the Outer Space Treaty.
Whoa.
It grew from agreements over sovereignty in Antarctica.
Huh.
Yeah, that's another thing too. We should have an
Antarctica
Antarctica episode
next week, y'all.
Stay tuned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, oh my gosh. Just the more you think about it, even like the slightest thoughts. It hurts.
Takes you down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I also just heard 2 days ago. I mean, I have a list of other things also I want to go over, but just 2 days ago, bro. Hold on. A black hole blast.
Dude.
Did you hear about the black hole blast? The largest jet.
That's what I was looking
ever
at.
jetted.
I thought I was going to be the one to talk about that.
I'm sorry.
No, I thought you didn't see that.
It just happened 2 days ago. Like, this was like top news. The biggest black hole jets that were ever seen, ever, just happened 2 days ago. 23 million light years long.
And
imagine 1 light year. 23 million light years.
It appears completely straight as well.
And that's weird. You'd think it'd be like...
Do you know what a black hole jet is?
No. Did something like die in it or like get sucked up and explode? Like, imagine if a sun got sucked up in a black hole.
At the center of the jet, researchers see a galaxy, and at the center of the galaxy, they find evidence of a supermassive black hole. As matter is pulled towards the black hole, various fates await. Some matter is eaten entirely. Some orbits around the black hole, forming a disk, and some of it becomes twisted and tangled in intense magnetic fields, and it is released into 2 opposing jets, blasting at almost the speed of light.
Holy shit.
And then that got me into black holes.
That's an episode in itself, bro.
But I have some...
turn this down just like a smidge.
Sorry, it's like the lowest it goes.
It's very intense.
It's just an intense part.
Do you... Because I feel like I'm yelling over it, and then I don't want my, like...
I know, I'm surprised why it's so... that's like 5% volume.
Be like screaming. Do you know how many black holes there are?
I mean...
Do
unlimited?
we as a society even know? Okay, tell me something about black holes. What you got?
I'm looking.
Okay.
Essential black hole facts. And no, not the one in my rear. No, I'm joking. The nearest known black hole, called Gaia BH1, is about 1,500 light years away.
That's not far.
The farthest, the most distant black hole detected, which I can't believe we have technology to even fucking discover this, at the center of a galaxy called QSO J03131806, is around 13 billion light years away.
How can we see that? With a telescope?
But just imagine that's just in one direction of space.
No, literally. That is like one coordinate.
It's just annoying.
In all of space.
And this, like, the more you talk about space, there's like, dude, there's
so
much.
There's much space.
There's other fucking life forms for sure.
Oh, please. There's so...
But that's why if there's so much space, there has to be, like...
It could be us, a million years ago because we're traveling through space. If you were to go back over there, it would be like literally like us back then. Like, that's how you time travel. It's probably just space travel.
Because there's some light we see through the Hubble scope that we're appearing it now, but it's like from...
Like, half the stars that we see are already dead.
Billions of years ago.
The
most massive black hole.
The apple in the Danish is so insanely good.
Observed tips the scale at 66 billion times the sun's mass.
Oh no, that's pretty super massive.
So if the black holes that big can still just exist in space, I mean, oh my god, it's unfathomable.
And they're just sucking everything up.
Spaghettification is a real term that describes what happens when matter gets too close to a black hole. It's squeezed horizontally and then stretched vertically,
No.
resembling a noodle. Isn't that crazy?
Scary.
Such, like, power that, like, the most, I don't know, man.
It literally shifts and molds matter.
All black holes spin the fastest known. Clocks in over 1,000 rotations per second.
So it's so big and yet going so fast
It's
you can't even
spinning.
see the movement.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No way.
But then how are we I just don't get it. My brain cannot compute.
If you replace the sun with a black hole of the same mass, the solar system would get a lot colder, but the planets would stay in their orbits. So gravity is the same. Gravity is the same. Black holes are not wormholes. People get confused.
Yep.
But do wormholes exist?
I'm like, isn't that like
they
a portal?
don't provide shortcuts between different points in space or portals to other dimensions or universes. That's what NASA says.
Are we sure, though?
I'm like, so is there wormholes?
So you're saying there's wormholes?
There has to be. Cosmic vacuum cleaners. Black holes don't suck in other matter. From far enough away, their gravitational effects are just like those of other objects of the same mass. But that's what I thought, honestly. Like,
they just suck.
Yeah.
They suck. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's so scary. And they're black. Topic. So how are we seeing them? Do you know what I mean? Is it blacker than space?
Here we go.
All right.
Black holes are among the most mysterious cosmic objects, much studied but not fully understood. Of course, these objects aren't really holes. They're huge concentrations of matter packed into very tiny spaces.
So it's not a hole.
A black hole is so dense that gravity just beneath its surface, the event horizon, is strong enough that nothing, not even light, can escape. Oh my God.
So dense. Dense
light
black.
Can't escape. The event horizon isn't a surface like Earth's or even the sun's. It's a boundary that contains all the matter that makes up the black hole.
Interesting. Do you know what a black hole sounds like?
Black hole, sun, won't you come?
Let me see if it plays. Hold on.
That's what it sounds like?
This is from NASA.
What?
Released by NASA in 2022. It's some sort of unearthly howling. That is so spooky. And it's the first time in 2022. It was the first time that these sound waves were extracted and made audible.
Do you want to send me that real quick?
Yeah.
I can have it in the pod audio. That is insane. Scary.
Yeah. I'll just put it in my little notes to send to you. Yeah, extremely eerie. It's giving, I don't know, monster of space.
Yeah.
That's so scary. And that was 2 years ago, the first time. And that's the thing, too.
That we discovered the sound of a black hole?
That they were able to extract it and make it audible. But I'm like, imagine in 10 years where we would be.
But space is quiet.
Yeah, but like, things still make noise, no? It's not like it's vacuuming out all the noise. Like if something explodes in space, isn't there like relative sound?
So.
Look it up.
Does space have sound? Well, if something, I guess, how long can sound travel?
How big is that fucking black hole? You know what I mean? Like it's got to be like, it can't be silent. It's crushing matter every second.
But maybe the process of crushing matter is just...
Also, this is what I don't get. Okay, yeah, it says there's no sound in near empty regions of space. Okay, but that's obviously not a near empty.
So on the farther out skirts.
Because space is a vacuum, which I don't quite... Is it sucking? Which means it's almost empty of matter.
But space is a vacuum, but space is also constantly expanding.
So it's like
But how can
Yin
space
yang.
expand if there's no limit? You know,
Like, where's the
there's no edge.
outer space? Yeah, if there's no,
Do you think we'll get to a point like Star Wars, like
what does that mean?
travel to different galaxies?
I don't know if in our time, but definitely, certainly
Just
in
in Earth's life.
humanity. Yeah, I think potentially with, where we're at right now. Sound waves are carried by atoms and molecules. There's no atoms or molecules in space to carry sound waves.
So how does a black hole make a sound?
Sonification. NASA created a sonification of
Of course.
NASA.
Dude, I actually really like coffee.
Yeah, I do too. I need to drink more. Hold on. Copy break.
I want a third.
Mm-mm. You dirty boy. Microphones on space rocks. Scientists have placed microphones on space rocks with atmospheres like Mars and Saturn's moon Titan to capture sounds.
There was just a picture of the rover or something, a picture from Mars looking at Earth. And what's weird is that the moon, it might have been Mars' moon or our moon, but the moon looked bigger. But that makes sense because it's closer to Mars, right? Hopefully I don't sound dumb.
I think that there's no way that either of us are going to sound smart when talking about space.
Well, neutral would be nice.
So sound doesn't travel is the thing, but I think independently things could still be making noise. Like that black hole is making noise. I'm not sure how we extracted that audio, but it's not that sound isn't traveling outward. It's a contained sound. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, within its area.
It's like you can't hear a heartbeat from across the room, but if you were to put a little,
Huh.
Does that make sense?
A little bit, yeah.
Do I sound smart or stupid? Black holes, dude.
So the Hubble Space Telescope, oh god.
Oh my god. In my mind, I was like, maybe there's like, okay, I did not know how many black holes there were, so I was like, maybe there's one big one in all of space. Maybe that's just like I kind of grew up thinking that like there was a black hole and we got to avoid it because we are like moving towards it in space.
Well, there's a black hole, I think, in every galaxy.
Potentially. Do you want to know?
Because we have our own as well.
How many are in the observable universe? There is an estimated, Caden, 40 quintillion. Which, what's a quintillion? How many billions is in a quintillion? There's 40 quintillion stellar mass black holes in the observable universe, which is a sphere with a diameter of about 90 billion light years. So a sphere, Caden, that is 90 billion light years large. There's 40 quintillion of those in space. In the observable space. Not even what we can observe, which is potentially exponentially more. That's roughly 1% of all matter in the universe is black holes.
How much?
Quintillion.
No, what percentage?
1%.
What?
Of all normal matter in the universe is stellar mass black holes that are at least 90 billion light years in size. There's also an estimated 100 billion supermassive black holes in our region of the universe. These black holes are found in the centers of most galaxies, including the Milky Way. The nearest supermassive black hole to Earth is located in the center of the Milky Way. This is what I've heard. Yeah, 28,000 light years away. But it's like things are moving in space. They are moving through space.
Flying
at the speed of light.
We are.
Probably quicker. I don't know the science there. But that's the thing. If we're moving towards it at high speeds, how long until we get there?
So, yeah, it's trillion, quadrillion, and then quintillion.
So it's like the 5. That makes sense. Quints.
Estimates of the observable universe are about 100 to 200 billion galaxies. Some recent studies, advanced telescopes indicate that the number could be even higher.
Well, yeah. That's scary. Let me just look up.
I know, it kind of makes you think. It's like, and I'm fucking stressed about fucking leaving to work on time, you know?
Yeah,
like
no, literally. I actually think it's important to gain some perspective like that every now and again and be like,
Or the fact that
this is not anything.
we are going to die. I mean, I think no one can like comprehend that, but like we are all going to die one day, and you will be forgotten like a century later.
Totally.
Like no one will know
Oh,
anything.
maybe less.
Yeah, well, I'm saying like I don't know. I guess family, like right, you got the kings that are always remembered, right? Oh, King Henry, like, shit, like those are hundreds of years ago.
But we don't
But
even
as
fucking
far
know
as
them. We just
legacy,
heard the name
yeah,
somewhere,
you're
and there's
right.
like 10 King Henrys. So I'm
And it's
like,
not
which
like we think
one?
of them every day, you know.
Certainly not I.
It's probably the fourth time I've ever thought about that outside of school. But yeah, that's why you just gotta. That's what's tough though. It's like you really want to do what makes you happy every day, but we are stuck in these pressures to
Mm-hmm. It's so
not be able to.
societal.
Fuck that, dude.
Based on our current understanding, we will never reach the black hole that's at the center of the Milky Way because it's so far away. That's what they say. But I'm like, never, never, in all time.
Never say never.
Never say never. And even if we could travel at the speed of light, it would take that many years to get there, which is 26,000 light years, which that's not never. Our current technology does not allow for such speeds. Furthermore, there's no realistic way for humans to travel such distances. But you're telling me it's only a million years and then we're black hole? You know? It's like, that's us, Chad.
Well, I'm just still just listening and comprehending everything. Well, that they also got a picture of this galaxy that I wanted to show you using new light technology. The Webb peers into the extreme outer galaxy.
OMG.
Due to its location more than 58,000 light years away from the galactic center, Earth is approximately 26,000 light years away from the center.
Yeah.
The telescope, the scientists use this telescope to examine select star forming areas in the extreme outer galaxy in near and mid infrared light. Within this star forming region known as the digital cloud 2S, the telescope. Can you imagine naming all this shit? Everything.
So many names.
I know.
There's
The
got to be a
telescope,
database.
yeah, for sure, like some coding.
Yeah.
Telescope observed young, newly formed stars and their extended jets of material. But this other picture I wanted to show you. This galaxy was captured with a telescope. It is a barred spiral galaxy located in the constellation Reticulum, approximately 35 million light years from Earth. The brilliant light captured in the current image offers a wealth of information.
Let's see it.
So imagine that we can see a galaxy just like ours, 35 million light years away. Hold on, let's just.
But then it's like, is it even there? Could it have died by now? Wow, that's beautiful.
Or where is it now? But that's a galaxy. Like there's fucking stars and planets and suns in there and moons.
Yeah.
Just
emitting that light.
One out of the 100 plus billion.
Yeah.
And there's no life like us.
How do they know there's no life?
No, I know. They don't. But I'm saying, like, how could there not be?
Oh, that's the thing.
We're just speaking in probability and possibility.
And that's, one of so many. It's honestly so weird for us, for anyone to think we are the only civilization.
But
I'm not saying only humans, like, they're aliens. Like,
but not only that, though, if we are all created from that, right? Like
that makes us aliens
particles.
To them.
Yeah.
But
as far as like in the spiritual sense of like written in the stars or that's on universe. I mean, it's because that's all connected. We are made up of atoms and matter from
that just gets recycled.
Things we only are known by theory. People will say God. Yeah, some people question like how life is so beautiful. How could it not be created by God or a God? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe just because.
And it's like God doesn't have to be a man on a cloud,
Or that created like I imagine
day 1, day 2.
Yeah.
7 days later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it like that, but that to me is a way that it was written to so that like the human brain could comprehend, I guess. It's not like how else do you write a story explaining it all in a way that people could digest and cling to?
I'm gonna give you a little mind blown. So I mentioned how that one galaxy was 35 million light years away, and now I want to know how far is 1 light year. 1 light year is the distance that light travels in a vacuum in 1 year. This is approximately 5.88 trillion miles. To give you a sense of scale, the nearest star to Earth, Proxima Centauri, is about 4.24 light years away. So so
And
that's
then
4.24 times 5.8 trillion.
and then
would
thinking
be
about the jets that came out of that black hole 2 days ago being 23 million light years long.
That's why it's like
23 million
that
times
at that point time doesn't
billions
even
of
exist.
miles. No, it's like, and what does that happen in a second? Like going out that far? Like, I don't get
It
it.
hurts. It hurts. 1 light year, 5.88 trillion miles.
Times 23 million.
No, times 4.24 light years. That's just the closest star. What?
Yeah. That's
But
crazy that we can see that
I was
with our
about to say that
eyes.
our naked eye can see that far away into space.
Because there's so little in space, I guess.
Or fucking that bright.
Why can't we see satellites?
We can. What are you talking about?
Like,
If
with
you
how many there's supposed to be.
Dude, have you ever stargazed? You can see a lot.
But like, I thought there'd be more. Like
On the other side of the
littering
Earth.
the skies.
Yeah, but think about our viewpoint of the sky.
It's like limited.
Like, I wonder if there's like a chart where you can see like the human and then like what they can see just from where they are
Where they
on
stand.
Earth.
Yeah.
Probably a small section of space.
I mean, yeah, of space.
But we can all see the Great Dipper, right? We can see constellations.
Hmm.
Can anyone see that? Well, I guess because those constellations are so far that anyone from Earth can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Such as the moon.
But that's the thing. It's like there's like more space under. You know what I mean? It's all around. It's not just up. It's like sad, down.
There's more space.
Like if you have that app of like constellations, it's like, oh, look at there's like Leo, but then you like go down facing the floor and there's like more space. You know what I mean?
Is that the space we'll never see ever because we're constantly facing one? Does that make sense?
No, it does make sense.
Like, would you see a different space when you're in Antarctica?
I'm not sure, because we're orbiting, we're moving, we're not. I don't know. So many questions. Quick little note: China announces plans to build a moon base near the lunar South Pole by 2035. China's building a base on the moon by 2035. So we're there. Like, we're there in terms of space.
Yeah, our kids are going to have a crazy life as far as...
Oh my God. They're going to have like jetpacks
discoveries
to go to school.
Or like
no
a
more
fucking
buses.
light speed
There's gonna be
elevator to go to the moon.
There's probably going to be like all automated cars. You're probably going to have options to like fly in a car or drive in an automated car. Like there's going to probably be like traffic control in the air for
but it's slowly
commutes.
it's slowly what's the fucking word? Incorporated, right? Integrated, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that it just will become, I mean, just like how iPhones, like we're so far advanced, but it's just slowly updated.
That new
self-driving
update.
cars, Waymo.
No,
that will
literally.
Probably be in every city eventually. It's only like in 4.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy that we're one of like 4 cities that it's
a lot of people at the restaurant like taking pictures. It's funny. People there and like, how funny.
Whoa. Really, really crazy. And NASA's got another spacecraft launch October of this year. So next month, they're exploring Jupiter's moon. So that's the thing. We're now exploring Jupiter's moon. Like,
we also got a really clear
we probably went to the moon.
Picture of what was it? Saturn's hexagon storm.
Whoa.
Which I showed you the other day. You probably weren't even fucking looking.
Were my eyes open?
You fucking
Was I like, whoa?
made a comment towards it, yeah. Oh
I
my
just can't
God.
in my mind recall what it looks like.
Pretty what I just said. On top of Saturn, a blue hexagon storm. Like, but a perfect hexagon.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't see it. Show me the Carfax. So, if we're going to other moons, suffice it to say, not only have we been to our moon, but we probably have bases on the dark side of the moon. Oh, I guess I wasn't looking at that.
Isn't that wild?
Wait, that's
It's perfect.
super weird. And why would that be? Look at that second picture. That purpley one.
Right here?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess that's look at an eyeball.
Ew.
The iris.
Wait, that's terrifying. Why is it a hexagon?
I don't know.
That's got to have something to do with like
Yeah.
magnetic fields.
Yeah.
It's like a geomagnetic
Well, that's
storm.
the thing. Frequency, like everything has a shape.
Uh-huh.
A weird shape.
Yep. Geometry.
Indeed.
Geometric shape. Not just any shape.
Back to
But that's the thing, Kaden.
different space.
If we're now exploring other planets' moons and fucking China's building a base on the moon in 10 years, we've definitely been to the moon. They've probably seen some shit. And even if we were on the moon in the 60s, it's like maybe they just what they saw couldn't be disclosed to the public, and so they had to reenact it with footage that they could show, you know, and that the actual footage was then just used for research. And we probably have been back to the moon a million times and have a base on the dark side of the moon.
I mean,
and have like surveillance satellites, whatever.
Well, that's what's weird when we quote unquote first went. It was just a race. It was like
yes, it was like who could do it first.
Yeah, who has the balls?
Who's got the big space balls? And
space race.
That's the thing. It's like maybe there was already shit there, and they were like,
yeah, the fact that we never went
maybe
back.
Maybe they colonized the moon. Maybe there were.
Not only that, us going back, but other countries as well.
But that's the thing. Elon Musk is doing this with the Polaris Dawn mission and
that's
with
why
his future missions.
Saying
he's doing this to colonize Mars and the moon. He's literally going to be Christopher Columbus up on the moon, like colonizing and like killing whoever is there, probably. You know?
Well, not only that, like we've been to the moon, but think about how big the moon is and what has been discovered.
Yeah. And how far we've gone.
How long would it take to travel across?
I want to know the truth, but also I kind of don't care.
Being in Antarctica can offer a different view of the night sky compared to many other places. You know, you can actually see the southern celestial hemisphere.
If you had the option.
And see dwarf galaxies.
Wow. If you had the option of going to space or moving to Mars, would you?
No.
No, literally. I'm like,
there's
honestly,
no greenery.
No, literally.
Think about that. Like the lack of color.
Literally.
I don't think we think about that.
It's like a big desert.
Lunar
I'm more than happy with all the billionaires fucking off to Mars and like leaving the planet to
what
those
was your
that
conspiracy? Is that the portal to space within the ocean?
Oh yeah. Look, those are not like real beliefs.
Yeah.
That's
like,
just like
why not?
Me saying like we don't know shit and like
why not?
Yeah. We don't know.
It's our wormholes in our oceans.
There are no wormholes, remember?
Theoretical passages. It's theory. Just like the Big Bang.
Just like gravity.
Just like math.
Pythagorean's theorem.
A lot of, but it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't, I guess, state it as actual fact.
Sure.
Then again, nothing is actual facts. It's just
like it's all just
someone made
context and like putting your knowledge to the context that you have and coming up with conclusions. You know?
I feel ya.
Let's talk about Boeing. Are they okay?
Yeah, so it's supposed to be 8 days.
So cloudy all of a sudden.
I know.
I love it.
It's supposed to be 8 days, and now it's been 14 weeks.
But how do they even have enough? I mean, granted, did they not go to like
The
the space
SpaceX,
station, the ISS? Like
they
weren't.
did, but the return pod
Uh-huh.
returned without them, I believe.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, there was some like issue with it, and it had to go back. So they're stuck on it until they can
Send someone.
SpaceX Dragon's gonna save them in March.
You're kidding.
Well, they already have an exploration, but I know
just
it's
gonna pick 'em
basically
up on
just
the way.
NASA or SpaceX brought to you by NASA.
Mm-hmm. Well, NASA funds SpaceX.
I can't imagine. I mean,
billions
well,
of
then
dollars.
what about Jeff Bezos' little thing? What was that?
Oh yeah, it's blue.
Because he's even more rich than Elon.
What's that word? He did start a space
Updates
company.
on Jeff Bezos.
Wait, I want to think of the name. I can't remember it. Jeffrey Bezos. We should play that song. What is? It is like a one word.
Blue Origin.
Blue Origin. I was like, Blue Marble. Uh-huh. What's he up to?
I'm trying to see.
They're trying to enable a future where millions of people are living and working in space for, quote unquote, the benefit of Earth. But I'm like, you sure about it?
Do you want to talk about our new moon for 57 days?
Yeah. Tell us
while
about that.
While I go pee.
Oh, shit. That was yours.
Oh, you said yes, like as if you also
Well, I
researched
saw it. I saw the news. Okay. Oh, gosh, the pressure. Maybe I'll say another fact. What else do I have here? None of these are interesting. Oh, lunar volcanism. China's Chang'e 5 mission brought back samples that suggest the moon may still experience volcanic activity, which is reshaping our understanding of its geological history. The moon and volcanoes. Is the moon... First of all, I'm not fully understanding why the moon illuminates so much. I'm also not understanding what color is the moon without like the light reflecting. And also, have you heard those theories that the moon is basically just a reflection of Earth? We don't need to go down there. You missed it, but China just did a mission that brought back samples that suggest the moon still experiences volcanic activity. So imagine volcanoes on the moon.
Wait, so what is the moon's core like?
Magma. It's gotta be. Let's see.
That's another thing too. We can have an episode on fucking volcanoes. Those are insane.
I know.
The moon illuminates through the reflection of sunlight.
I know, but I don't buy that.
It doesn't produce its own light.
I know, I don't buy it.
Instead, it reflects about 7% of the sunlight that hits its surface. When sunlight reaches the moon, some of it is absorbed.
Why is it reflective?
Some of the light is absorbed, while the rest is scattered back into space and towards Earth. The phases of the moon, new, crescent, half, and full, result from its positive relative to the Earth and the sun, which determines how much of its sunlit side we can see.
Okay. The moon is marked by its distinctive features such as obviously craters, highlands, and Maria, the darker flat plains. These Maria are vast. How do I say that? Basaltic?
Yeah, sounds right to me.
Plains formed by ancient volcanic activity. But that's the thing. China's suggesting that they are still experiencing active volcanic activity. And it's, only visible to the naked eye because the surface reflects the sunlight. So then I'm also like, imagine the celestial bodies in space that are not visible because they're not reflecting any light from stars.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
it's like if all the things out there that
So if there's
we're
like nothing
seeing.
around and it's just like a rock or a crater or because that's what the moon is, a rocky body, you know?
Yeah, in our orbit.
It's also so, why are the planets perfectly
I was
round?
about to say that because the moon is the same thing as well.
Erosion, like, is it like the speed of travel? Like, why are they so round? They're perfectly round. They're not like, rigid.
Well, yeah,
Why
like,
is
or
it
like
so round?
think about like gases and stuff, right? So like, why aren't they all like? Yeah, why is it perfect? Really?
Why is it so round? Why are planets round?
They're not.
Huh? I don't believe it.
Here's why.
Gravity. Planets are mostly round because of gravity, but they're not perfectly spherical because of their rotation. Gravity pulls equally on all sides of the planet from the center to the edges, forming a sphere. So it's really just mass held together by invisible gravity.
Yeah.
But is that not like a magnetic field? Like, what if it's not gravity? What if it's more like magnetic, not electromagnetic, but maybe, you know?
Yeah, as you were saying.
When our solar system formed, gravity pulled together gas and dust to create planets. Gas and dust. All right. The collisions that formed the planets caused them to become molten, and gravity then pulled that molten material into a spherical shape. And is this a theory? Is this the facts?
The leading theory of how the moon was formed around 4.5 billion years ago. A massive object about the size of Mars collided with Earth. This event likely threw debris into space, which eventually coalesced to form the moon.
So it is part of Earth. It's a rock from Earth.
But isn't that crazy how, I know obviously 4.5 billion years is a long time, but impact on Earth and like, I guess, separation of a planet still like
and
eventually.
How long ago were the dinosaurs? Maybe that's what killed them.
So is it because, do they form in a sphere like because of how they're flying through space and gravity?
It's like the gravity. It's like
yeah, it's forming it.
You know what I mean?
Because obviously, if a planet collided with another, that's not spheres blowing up, like perfect spheres coming out of it.
Right.
So do asteroids turn into spheres?
I was just gonna say, size is like the biggest thing that determines the shape of those objects. Smaller bodies like asteroids and comets don't have enough gravity to smooth out their shape. So because they're such large bodies, they're so big mass.
Mass.
Nice mass. There's so much gravity.
Nice mass. That should be the title. Yeah, that makes sense.
A planet's rotation creates a bulge at the equator due to centrifugal force. So the center, kind of like that middle portion, kind of bulges out.
That's why our maps are fucked.
Right?
Because it's not an actual sphere.
But they don't show that in the photos.
You cannot flatten a sphere, right? A perfect rectangle.
Rectangle?
Yeah, like a map. Like if you're seeing like a map of,
I see what you're saying.
Like the continents.
Yes.
Well, it's obviously inaccurate because
there's bulge. But maybe I'm just confusing
But that
myself.
kind of looks like a black hole in a sense as well. Because look at a black hole.
No, literally. No, literally. Huh. Maybe that's what Earth looks like.
Why can't we see the bulge of Earth?
There's like the gravitational force.
I want to see Earth's bulge.
Maybe the gravitational force. My brain is literally exploding. I don't even know what I'm saying. Like,
I know it's like you're saying it, but
hole,
it's still not making
any fucking sense. There's like, you can see, is that a real picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see these layers of energy around it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't we have that on Earth? like these layers of electromagnetic energy or the gravity energy. I don't know. Take it to Google
Yeah, because I was
once
going to show the
again.
interstellar black hole. Remember that in the movie?
Oh yeah.
Which they did
And
a
that was like
great
the
job
most
depicting.
accurate depiction ever. And then there's that little.
I think that's an
But
actual picture
again,
of a
I'm
black
like,
hole.
no, it is. But I'm like, why is there light?
Why is there light?
Yeah, didn't we already say like there was no light that could escape black holes?
But can black holes produce light? Admit it.
Admit
Admit it that you
it.
can admit it.
If anything, this is just teaching us again
No,
how
I'm learning
little
a
we
lot.
know.
I'm learning a lot. Thank God for Chad.
Thank God for AI. We can't directly see most forms of energy around
That's a
Earth
good point.
with the naked eye. However, we can observe the effects of energy through visible manifestations like light from the sun, heat, like infrared radiation, and movement, which are all forms of energy that we can perceive with our senses. But that's the thing. Imagine energy that we can't perceive that is actually surrounding these things that we can't see as humans.
Well, yeah, like, because what if people, let's say on other stars or galaxies, have like, does Mars see the dark side of the moon? Does that make sense?
I don't know.
Because we're always seeing
There's a lot of
one
theories about the
side.
dark side of the moon as well.
But
Are there pictures?
jets are thought to be produced by magnetic fields in the black hole's accretion disk, and that can radiate light. So
Look
I
at
guess
that.
it's
NASA's captured all sides of the moon.
the back is bare.
Why is it so bare?
Why is the near side so cratered?
Hmm.
The west side? Yeah, the far side is
Bare. And is that not the South Pole? That the fact that there's a dot right there and it looks
far
like a
side is
literal pole.
smooth.
Hmm.
Why?
Wow.
I'm curious, how many asteroids impact the moon? Is there a number?
I still don't understand why things look perfectly round. I mean, I hear it, I get it, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's crazy too, is that because we can die like literally any second because of an asteroid.
No, literally.
And there's like actual impacts on Earth that you can go to.
And they're so large. Some of these asteroids, Kaden, are like 10 Earths.
Okay, so this is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Oh, the moon is regularly hit by small space rocks. It's estimated that about 100 or more tiny meteoroids, so like roughly the size of a grain of sand to a pebble, impact the moon every day.
Mm-hmm. That makes just space dust.
Yeah, but wouldn't the speed of that fucking kill humans?
Mm-hmm. So that's the thing. If you're out there on your spacewalk, Elon, you get a little dust to the dome. But
Baseball?
yeah,
The size of a baseball or larger occurs several times a week.
maybe nothing that small can enter Earth's orbit like that.
Well, the radiation belt too.
Yeah. It all gets caught up in that.
Yeah. That's why we can't
It's like a
go into
protective
space
belt. Right.
or further because of that.
Well, then what the fuck are people planning on doing?
But I don't get, if you're getting impacted every week, because the moon doesn't have a belt or anything protecting it. The moon's just out there getting hit.
I have so many questions.
Space
I have so many
dust.
more questions. There is no current known significant threat of impact for the next 100 years or so in terms of
Well, that's the
asteroids.
thing. If we know we're going to get hit, we'll know.
If they know, we won't know. It would cause mass hysteria. It's just like, don't look up.
Yeah, that's exactly
it's like,
it.
It would divide the nation and the world.
Well, because you would do, what would I do if I had a week to live?
And then it's like, yeah, no one's going to work. There's no services. There's no,
but would there be
everything
violence?
would stop. I would literally just stay home.
Or would there be love?
Not love.
Maybe.
Bro, it'll be like the purge. Everyone's out for themselves. And then imagine if it misses us.
Oh, that's a good point.
There's no way.
Or scrape. What if an asteroid scrape?
What would that look like? Because the thing with the moon is it's a rock to. This is what I don't understand. Does the moon have like a sky? Like if you're on the moon, do you just see black or do you see a sky?
No, because there's no. We have clouds because of water.
Atmosphere. We have clouds because of water. That makes sense.
Do you know how much a cloud weighs, by the way? Get a guess.
Get it.
Like those nice big fluffy ones I am obsessed over.
Couple tons.
Couple?
Yeah. And how do you weigh such a thing? Analyzing the amount of droplets?
I'll tell you.
Tell me.
The weight of the cloud depends on its size, type, and the amount of water it contains. How we calculate the weight of a cloud. It's composed of tiny water droplets or ice crystals suspended in the air. They calculate the cloud by estimating the number of water droplets per volume of cloud, then multiplying that volume of the cloud and the density of water. So on average, a cumulus cloud contains 0.5 grams of water per cubic meter of cloud. Anyway, so a typical cumulus cloud is about 1 kilometer wide, has a height of around the same. The volume can be roughly estimated 1 billion cubic meters. So we multiply 1 billion by 0.5 grams of water per cubic meter. Basically 1.1 million pounds.
Oh my God.
The average cloud weighs about 500 tons.
Jesus Christ. That's more than I thought.
Why don't clouds fall? Good question. Right?
Gravity.
They don't fall because they're spread out across a large area. They're so small and light that they stay suspended.
So are they light or are they heavy?
Rising
Just
warm
kidding.
air helps keep the droplets aloft until they combine into larger drops and eventually falls.
I want it to rain
as
today.
Precipitation. Typical, yeah. Clouds.
Interesting. So if there's no clouds, you're like, there must not be water.
Well, what is the moon's atmosphere like?
Yeah, I know.
And then don't we have multiple atmospheres?
Like layers?
Yeah.
Can I show you a picture that the European Southern Observatory took of the Milky Way black hole March 27th of this year? The newly released image shows the supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy in polarized light.
Whoa.
It's like when you're making a smoothie and it's like how it's all kind of spinning and like
or if you have a long
down.
exposure with like sparkles, you're like
totally.
Take a picture.
But it is giving death hole.
I don't
death
know.
by
I kind of
hole.
got positive vibes by that.
Oh. Like it makes you feel good?
Looks like love.
Jesus. Are you being for real right now?
Show me again.
He's like, yes,
I forgot. I don't see evil. I don't get negative vibes from that.
I don't see evil, period. Okay, that's good. Because that's, in our galaxy. I just don't understand.
The moon has a very thin and weak atmosphere.
Mm.
It's called an exosphere.
Okay.
It's almost like having no atmosphere at all. Yeah. No weather or protection. That's another thing too. No weather.
Which
that's what's so like.
I don't get
why
it.
are we
because
so
if it's
unique?
illuminated from the sun, it experiences sunlight. That's weather.
I don't know about that.
Sunny.
But what are the UV rays like?
How's
that UV ray index?
And why is the moon white?
And how do we discover all of this?
Okay, well, look at this picture as well of black holes in our universe.
Ugh.
I know.
What?
That gives me bad vibes.
Yeah, that's gross.
That's like the tryptophobia.
I was about to
holes,
say, yeah.
It's too many holes.
That's what I got.
Maybe that's where that comes from. I'm just
Black
afraid of
holes.
falling in.
What were we saying? Oh, yeah.
See, what if space was more like this and not just like vast, but like
that's what it is. But that's imagine like there's no
lights.
So is that how we're moving through space?
You should see this GIF. Oops.
So it's like hyperspace.
Uh-huh. What were you gonna say?
Interesting. The moon.
Sorry, dude.
The UV index on the moon is significantly higher than Earth due to a lack of atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
It says that during the lunar day, when the sun is shining directly on the moon's surface, the UV radiation would be dangerously high. Indirect sunlight, the UV exposure could be up to 200 times greater than the strongest
God.
UV radiation levels on Earth.
So how are we living on the moon?
Another barrier.
How are they
Are those
building a
suits?
base? Well, that's the thing. I'm sure they've.
That's insane. Like, you don't consider
But
that.
that spacewalk was the first time that those suits were actually being tested in space.
But
and
it's
they
so
tested it on
weird
people.
that ultraviolet,
Uh-huh.
the light emitted or the rays from the sun, is radiation.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's also like gives life but kills it.
Mm-hmm.
Yin and yang. That's all I can think of, yeah.
Let me show you this little bit. This is how we move through space. We're traveling like following behind the sun.
Wait.
In like a helix.
And the sun's going straight.
Yeah.
And
we're being sucked into its gravitational pull.
So we're just like, whoa.
We're like, whoa. I mean, it is so weird.
Oh, yeah. So you see the galaxy like that, but it's basically like, yeah.
Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Spinning.
Diagonally.
Isn't that nuts?
And that takes 1 year to go all the way around it, right? Yeah, 365 days. But we are spinning fast as fuck too in just in one spot. So like we're like going also around this.
But it's such a large mass, the Earth, that even going very fast, it appears like slow.
That's what I'm gonna say. Like we can still go to the moon,
so
right?
Big. Yeah.
And it's not like we're like, ah.
No, you're not gonna see it moving at all because it's so
We're
massive.
so big. And I mean big.
I mean massive, big. I mean
massive.
All right, let me look at my list to see if I have any other latest news. Do you have any other news? Oh yeah, tell us about the moon, the double moon.
Double moon. Nothing too crazy.
Okay.
It's a small asteroid. It's going to begin to orbit our planet for 57 days. It was discovered in August and is said to become a mini moon. But it's so small we won't see it. We're revolving around Earth in a horseshoe shape from September 29th to November 25th.
Is that it?
Yeah. But then I was just thinking of like our galaxy and moon phases and shit and how does that affect us.
And like what? The currents are controlled by the moon.
Oh yeah, that's another thing
you
too.
Know what I mean?
Ocean.
The ocean having such a correlation with the moon.
Yeah, it's such a fat body of water.
It's so interesting. It's interesting what kind of level of control the moon has over Earth when it's so small compared. I'm curious.
So small. What are you curious about? Sorry.
My brain is literally melting. Just the effects of the moon on the oceans, on people. Our bodies are water. So it's like if it's affecting the ocean, it's affecting our bodies.
I see. Yeah, the gravitational pull, tidal forces that causes oceans to bulge on opposite sides of the Earth.
More bulging.
We're just constantly bulging.
It's just the great bulge. You know?
Yeah, the indescribable bulge.
That's the title. A bulge like no other.
The bulge phenomena.
Okay, hold on. The moon's gravity affects the Earth's water, causing tides, but there's
Dude, I was
no
just saying this.
scientific evidence that the moon affects human health or behavior. But if it controls water,
I call bullshit. Yeah, but it just creates a bulge because of the entire ocean. Opposite sides of the Earth.
mm-hmm.
Wait, yeah, the Earth's bulge.
Mm-hmm.
Why were we talking? Oh, it's already a bulge though. So just bulge it more. That's kind of crazy. And why is it so like?
It's a combination of Earth's gravity and the gravitational pull of the moon that creates the phenomenon called tidal force, which causes our ocean tides to change.
What about tsunamis? Is that due to like tectonic plates?
That's
and how the fuck do we know about tectonic plates?
Things I don't know.
Things that are just
things I don't know, Alex, for $500. Tsunamis are caused by a sudden large displacement of the ocean that could be triggered by a number of events such as earthquakes, landslides, volcanoes, weather, near Earth objects like asteroids and comets.
Did you say an ocean displacement?
Mm-hmm.
That's wild. I don't think I know.
Just like a shift.
Yeah, but
in the ocean. Tsunamis are a series of waves that radiate on. Okay, we know what they are.
Or that one I had no idea. You told me about the 2004 one that killed 200,000.
Boxing Day, Thailand, I believe.
I had no idea.
Killed.
That has to be the greatest natural
casualty
disaster ever.
I don't know. What was Pompeii?
Oh yeah, that volcano.
Mm-hmm. Hold, please. We're getting off space for a second.
I have a space thing to go back to though.
Oh my god. Okay.
You're talking about
some
Pompeii?
of the deadliest natural disasters in history. In 1970, a cyclone.
What?
Which I'm gonna have to Google because I'm like, wait, what is that again? Is that not like
what's that
a
song?
water like?
Or is it a water hurricane?
Sweet budgie cyclone. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait.
Isn't that like a water
cyclone? And she makes you want to hit it all night long. Cyclone.
The cyclone hit Bangladesh, killing an estimated 300,000 to 500,000 people. Category 3 storm with winds of 115 miles per hour and storm surges of up to 19 feet. 300,000 to 500,000 estimated. Cyclone.
It's a large air mass that rotates around a strong center of low atmospheric pressure counterclockwise in the northern hemisphere and clockwise in the southern.
Whoa.
Inward spiraling winds that rotate about a zone of low pressure. What about a typhoon, though?
It says the damage was $86 million of damage.
I forgot about typhoons.
Oh my gosh. The earthquake. Okay, 1556. This earthquake, I don't know how to say this, in China's Shaanxi province killed an estimated 830,000 people, almost 1 million people.
When was this?
1556. I'm like, were we tracking earthquakes in 1556? With what technology?
I don't know.
How do we know this?
Well, there was like the philosophers back in like the BC, like the Greek.
Yeah, but
they knew shit about like they knew the shit was like Earth was round back then, which is fucking insane.
That's the tallest for sure of the list is that earthquake.
Oh my god, that's insane.
Okay, wait. In terms of
oh my god,
highest ever. I mean, there's been floods that have killed more people. 1931 China floods, 4 million people died.
What the fuck?
1887 Yellow River flood, 2 million people died.
It's hard to imagine.
That cyclone is number 4 though, which is
But crazy. To like think of a flood. I mean, does everyone just drown?
Yes, because what do you do? Where do you go? Eventually you're gonna be tired.
You just ride it.
No, bro, like for days flooding, like septic shock, like there's infections, like
ew,
like starvation, drowning, like I'm sure there's a million ways you could die from flooding. You got to watch The Impossible with Naomi Watts and Tom Holland.
Talking about that.
Ewan McGregor, I think.
Approximately 49 moons can fit in Earth.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Good to know. So, when was the last tsunami?
Pretty recent.
So that's the thing. Space and the space stuff has such a influence on Earth and weather, and it's just
But natural
weather is
disasters.
another thing I don't understand.
Yeah, does space have anything to do
Put
with
it on the
how
list.
our tectonic plates are shifting?
There was a volcanic eruption in Tonga, January 2022, that generated a tsunami that affected the entire Pacific Ocean. Again, the eruption of the volcano caused atmospheric pressure waves that circled the Earth multiple times. Pressure waves, atmospheric pressure waves from a volcano.
Makes me want to go back to school.
It does not make me want to go back to school.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like the phenomena. Do we still don't understand tornadoes? You know that, right?
And what do you mean by that? Like how they start, how they
Yes.
travel.
Exactly how we know how they are created, but there was something. Are you looking it up?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know.
They form from warm, moist air from a thunderstorm that collides with cold, dry air. So it's that yin and yang.
But does it tell you what
Creating
we don't
unstable
know?
conditions that cause spinning air currents. Air currents. These currents can turn vertical and drop down from the cloud, becoming a tornado. They can have wind speeds of up to 200 miles per hour. Most tornadoes occur in the United States.
Yeah.
See, that's where I'm like, why?
Why do people live where they exist constantly?
No, literally. But also, why aren't there tornadoes in other countries? When it just has to do with warm air and cold air colliding. Why does that happen in the US more?
Okay, so there's a few things.
Most tornadoes happen between 4 and 9 p.m.
Whoa, that's weird.
That is weird.
Why some storms produce tornadoes while others don't. We know that tornadoes form from rotating storm systems, but the exact process that trigger a funnel cloud to descend from a storm and become a tornado are not fully understood. Predicting tornado intensity, the exact strength of a tornado before it forms remains difficult.
Okay.
Lifespan and path, don't know. Its exact path. That's the thing. It's like
it's so
an unpredictable.
I'm gonna go over here. No, I'm gonna go over here. That's why tornado chasers are crazy to me. Like people like storm chasers that chase tornadoes.
Can you imagine just getting sucked into one though?
I read that the survival rate is still 99% even for violent tornadoes, which is pretty good. But again, I would just not live in the Midwest with that. Does Arizona have any natural disasters? Let's see.
Haboobs.
And then maybe we can get back to space. I don't know how long have we been going.
Haboobies.
Yeah,
120.
oh my God.
120. Wow, I was on the dot.
1970 Labor Day storm was the deadliest storm in Arizona history, causing a whopping 23 deaths.
R.I.P.
And then, of course, flash floods, wildfires. We have 3 active volcano fields and thousands of extinct volcanoes, some of which are prone to collapse.
Do you have any curiosity of ever see a volcano in your lifetime? Like the top, like you see lava.
Like need to go down and peek.
Because there's some that still erupt like that. Well, there's one in I think somewhere in South America.
We swam in a volcanic crater lake in Nicaragua.
I think that's
and that
the place.
was
That's where it
an
is.
active. It was like I think it's not Popoyo, maybe.
From space.
No, that's a
natural
place.
disaster.
I forget what it's called.
How do you determine a dormant one?
No, how do you know for sure? What was it called?
I mean,
Maybe Messiah.
dude, so we got to talk an Antarctica episode. Yellowstone, that volcano, the big one that, like, if it blew up, it would destroy half of North America.
Oh my gosh, this one that we went to in I think this is the one we went to in Nicaragua. It's an unusual basaltic volcano that has had explosive eruptions, including one in 4,550 BC. That was one of the largest on Earth in the last 10,000 years. Maybe that's what wiped out the dinosaurs.
Or the dinosaurs still exist.
And just another part of the Earth that we don't visit.
Or as
Antarctica.
undiscovered.
Interesting. What is the land mass on Earth?
Land mass?
Like what is the total like land
percentage?
coverage?
Or what land coverage have we not discovered?
The surface area of the Earth is 196.9 million miles.
How much of that is discovered?
29% is taken up by land. The remaining 140 million square miles is water.
How much land has been discovered? We assume because of maps and Google Earth,
that
but
all
I feel
of it, like there's more beyond Antarctica.
I mean, there's places in the Amazon forest that's untouched.
Mm-hmm.
We might have to wrap it though with the wide.
No.
I think it's probably done, honestly.
Shit. Okay. Humans have visited almost every piece of land with the exception of Antarctica. However, there's a lot of parts of the ocean that remain unexplored.
Yeah.
Only 43% of Earth's land is habitable.
What?
Because of deserts and mountains.
That's insane.
That's a lot.
That's more than half.
Like we
can't live. Yeah, right. If we can make the moon work, bruh, come on.
Come on.
We can find out a way to live in high
y'all.
in extreme
No, literally,
heat.
they're like, it's a population issue. It's like, no, we just aren't spread out enough.
Every time I drive to California, like, bruh, there could be fucking neighborhoods over there.
Yeah, yeah. We talked about that last time.
Well, I guess as far as like natural resources, though,
just 23% of the planet's land surface, excluding Antarctica, is considered wilderness.
That's cool.
Humans have modified more than 50% of the Earth's land surface due to population growth and the need for infrastructure and agriculture.
Well, that's the thing. We build up.
Water once covered 100% of Earth's surface. But time,
Pangea.
land has come up from
what happened?
the
How did Pangea split? Do you remember?
No, this is too much for my brain.
All right, that's the last thing we can wrap.
Sorry, we forayed away from space, but
that was majority.
And we just don't know anything. We don't know what we're talking about.
No.
I probably won't remember any of this.
No.
Like, my brain is full.
Yes.
That is so weird. And the underground. Don't forget the underground.
Oh, yeah, tunnels
Earth's
and shit?
underground.
Oh, yeah, the layers
just
of Earth.
Period.
The mantle, which I was like, what? I forgot about that. The core.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, folks,
wait, what are you looking at?
We have some, just how did Pangea split? Bitch, don't know about Pangea?
We have a lot to cover in coming episodes based on all the questions I have.
The movement of tectonic plates driven by mantle convection.
Right.
Rifting began around 200 million years ago, leading the formation of new ocean basins and the eventual drift of the continents into their current positions.
Yep.
This process is ongoing, which is wild.
Which is why
continue to shape the Earth's surface today, which is why no map will ever be accurate ever.
We're going to have to keep redoing it.
Don't forget about the bulge.
Battle of the Bulge.
Respect the bulge. Battle of the bulge.
Wasn't that a thing?
That is real.
I just have to.
Yeah.
All right, World War II stuff. All right.
Would you ever be interested in talking about that? Like, are you interested in any
World War II?
Prior wars, like American Revolution, shit like that?
If we have to.
No, just ideas.
Honestly, no.
Antarctica.
Antarctica, though, that sounds like a good one.
Crust, outer layer, and the mantle, and the core.
Yep.
Man, fuck.
I feel maybe I feel a little more educated than I was an hour ago, but for the most part, I have more
Definitely,
questions, and
yeah.
I'm still confused. And all we can do is just be present. Be present with where we're at, what we're doing, our own lives.
I could ask how, but
Take a
that's
deep
another
breath.
time. Yeah.
Meditate.
Yeah, which we lack.
Yeah. We used to be so good. On that note, see you next Tuesday.
It's gonna be okay.
We're back
Thanks
on
for
YouTube.
listening.
We're back on the gram. We're back everywhere you knew
Donated
us before.
coffees.
Donate a coffee.
We're back
Drop
on
the
that
link.
coffee
Yeah.
grind.
We're back on the grind, and it's going to be okay.
I think that's everything.
It's going to be okay.
Stay bulgy. Bye.
Bye.
If you're still